One of the really good questions came up this week about diet and same food monotony. I think for most people it's much easier to eat same meals more or less same time over and over and again. So one, it's easy to control. Two, you have a bit more structure. You know what is coming, you know when it's coming. And if you're tracking the calories, tracking your macros, it's easier to navigate as well. So if you know your breakfast is 400 calories, you know it's 400 calories. After a while, it's become much more easier to control. The minuses, after a while, it can get boring, it can get repetitive, and you feel like you're eating more or less same food. So how to work around it? So generally, most of the meals, you can make it, let's say, a healthier version of that. Takeaway, make a fake away, so you can create a healthier version, especially if you want to increase amount of protein. You can use leaner meats, leaner cuts, and try to recreate or mimic some of your favorite meals. One of my favorite is spaghetti bolognese. That's something I can cook in bulk. It does take me a while on the day when I'm cooking, but once it's done, I know I have at least 10 portions from 1 hour of cooking or something, 45 minutes. And this I can freeze, I can create different meals. Something like one day it can be spaghetti bolognese, another day it can become lasagna, third day jacket potato, fourth day chili con carne or things like that. That can make a big difference, so you don't feel like you're eating the same meal over and over again. There is always ways to create from one meal many different options. Once you portion it out, it will make your life a little bit easier with the tracking as well. Same with takeaways. Most of the takeaways or takeouts, you can create a fake away, much higher protein version, lower maybe fat, so it's fit your macros. Something like burgers, shawarma, chicken, kebabs, pizzas, you can make your own when protein content is much higher. What helped me a lot in the past, whenever I diet, is have a reward at the end of the day. For me, by some reason, whenever I was dieting or cutting down on calories, ice cream has suddenly become my reward. So first thing in the morning, I would put an ice cream, I allocate 300 calories towards the ice cream, and I put it right at the beginning of the day. If I'd done quite well staying on track with my calories and protein and stuff like that, I basically have ice cream at the end of the day. If I didn't, I might have to lose the ice cream. So you make smart choices through the day, and having this reward at the end of the day, having this little win every single day, can keep you motivated and make your life easier a little bit as well. And you feel like you are restricted but not super restricted, because you still can have a treat as well, so you don't feel like you have to exclude a lot of stuff. Obviously, if it's a cheesecake, if you can't live without the cheesecake, it can be difficult to work your calories around that, but find something what works for you, keep you happy at the end of the day. That can make your life a little bit easier. Another thing is your calorie allowance, a little bit like a bank account. The way how you withdraw this money from the bank account through the day, you can take it at one chunk, you can take it in two chunks, or you can take it in 5. Whatever works for you, whatever is easier for you, you can keep it that way. So if you staying in your calories and you staying in the calorie deficit but not hitting the protein, you still will lose weight, you still lose body fat, but having enough protein, it will make your life easier. Saying that, let's say if you're on 2100 calories, you know your breakfast 400 calories, you know your lunch 500 calories, so it's 900. Then maybe you have 300 for a snack, so it's 1200. So you still have 900 calories left. Technically, you can have whatever you want in those 900 calories. So if you want your burger, pizza, any other meal, you pretty much can fit in anything you like within these 900 calories. So if you've been quite good through breakfast, lunch, snacks, I don't see the reason why you can't have a burger, why you can't have a pizza or anything like that. Something like that, it might feel a little bit maybe not the cleanest option, or maybe in some cases people are, oh, it's a bad food. There is no bad food. If you in calorie deficit, if it's even came from cookies, you still will lose weight. So if you're trying to lose weight and you got bored and you feel like, oh, I need to get out from this monotony, same meals like over and over again, that could be a great way to fill in with the food you basically love. Make sure you just have enough calories left to cover up this food. For guys who want to trying to build muscles, you can have pizza and burger a little bit more often, because you want to be in calorie surplus more often, so in some way it's good. But it doesn't mean if you're trying to lose weight and have to stay in calorie deficit, you're not allowed to have these meals. You still have it. Will make it your journey and life so much easier if you have those treats through the week. You might not need it every single day, but knowing that you can have your burger and still will be on track, have your pizza and still lose weight, mentally can make your life so much easier. So how to work around it? Use your calories as a bank account. You can choose how you spend your money or spend your calories. Focusing on more protein will make your life easier, but it doesn't mean if you didn't hit your protein on that day, that's like you will lose all your gains and start losing muscle straight away. It's not happening like that. So stick to 80-20 rule. 80% what you have to eat or what you have to do, 20 where you kind of have a little bit more of freedom, play around and have the food which you enjoy. Another one thing to focus, if you just started or if you had break or if you just came back from holiday, you might feel a little bit overwhelmed because you need to suddenly start to make sure you do all the workouts, make sure you progressive overload, make sure your diet on track, you're sleeping enough, you're consistent and things like that. Because too many things happening at the same time, you might feel a bit more overwhelmed. You feel like you need to do exactly the same what you done before maybe your holiday. You have to come back right to the same point. So don't feel afraid or don't feel failure. Like if you step back a little bit and maybe focus on just one thing. If you send them email with the weekly check-ins, once you feel that in, when you're rating between 1 and 10, where you with your work training, where you with your recovery, sleep, where you with nutrition, if you feel certain parts maybe you hit 5 out of 10, the rest is a little bit higher, so maybe it's only one thing you need to focus on a little bit more for that week. Let's take as an example, you're not hitting your steps. Everything is good, your nutrition is quite you're comfortable with, the sleep is good, training is reasonably okay, but you're really falling steps. So that's probably something I would try to focus a little bit more in a week. It doesn't have to ramp up from 5,000 steps to 10,000 steps. So from 5,000 just add 1,000 or 2,000, something what is manageable. You're pushing yourself out of a comfort zone, but at the same time it's not unachievable. Focusing on one thing will make your life a little bit easier because every single day you will have a win. Hitting this 6,000 or 7,000 steps, whatever is your goal, every single day will create motivation. If you have every day you have a win, that will create motivation. If you every day fail on something, you haven't hit one thing, you haven't tracked your calories, haven't done your steps, you're behind on the training, you will feel demotivated, feel overwhelmed, like a failure and just back to your old habits. But if you every single day have little win, you will like, okay, I can do that, I can hit my steps. After a week or so, it suddenly become quite normal. You feel now it's quite easy. I've been hitting it consecutively for a whole week, and then you can up it up. Actually, that's what's happening right now with one of my one-to-one clients. They just had a baby, so they have two kids. One is 2 weeks old, another 3 years old or something like that. We nailed down his workouts. He trained like a nap workouts, 20 minutes, but the steps is something he was falling behind. But actually, like, we dropped it down his steps from 10,000 to 8,000, and he suddenly can hit it pretty much every single day, and he feel much better about it because he training, he managed to do 4 20 minutes workouts, he hitting his steps, so he feel really good about it, he feel like in the right place. If we still had to train for 45 minutes, hit 10,000 steps, it would demotivate him and he would feel like, oh, I need a break now. Once the baby's a little bit bigger, once I'm back into normal routine, then I can start looking after myself. So stepping back sometimes after holidays, after break is not a bad thing. Also use this weekly check-in to evaluate what certain things maybe you need to focus a little bit more, and you can allow to pick just one and focus on this one thing a little bit more.